in a fiery clash between Gaurav Bhatia from BJP and Surendra Rajput from Congress. We got to know the stands of both ruling party and the opposition party on topics like violence being allowed on one section of society, the Sambhal survey and the violent incident, displacement and return of Hindus in an area, and the hidden temples found in Sambhal. Gaurav started by supporting the statements made by Yogiji in the assembly, saying that they are indicative of providing security for all the sides, which leads to freedom of expression on both the sides. And this general talk of security should not only make Hindus proud, but in fact make every Indian proud, as the speech was about unity and safety.
आज जो योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने बात कही है विधानसभा के पटल पर, ये हर भारतीय को, केवल हिंदुओं को नहीं, गौरवान्वित करती है.
In my opinion, the speech was about safety for both sides, meaning any kind of religious expression will be protected. Yogi ji clearly stated that Muslim caravans going through Hindu areas will be protected, and Hindu caravans going through Muslim areas will be protected. As such, opposition's criticism for search and arrest of such miscreants who want to hinder this freedom of expression is pure politics of appeasement, where they will openly criticize one side for wrongdoing just on the basis that those people voted for a different party and try to keep their vote banks safe from prosecution.
इसलिए योगी आदित्यनाथ जी जब हैं मुख्यमंत्री पद पे, तो सबको ये यकीन है कि कोई माइका लाल नहीं है जो चाहे वो अल्पसंख्यक हो चाहे बहुसंख्यक हो उसको डरा सके.
Next, he brought up if a group of people who left the area, subsequently the temples, are returning because of the increase in security and awareness, should they face criticism or be stopped from returning to the place of origin?
अगर डर के वो भाग गए थे और अब वापस आके अपने मंदिर में पूजा कर रहे हैं, तो किसी को आपत्ति क्यों?
Wouldn't it be fair for them if the access was returned to the community which was steered away from the area because of communal violence? He quoted the examples of Kairana, where they had a mass exodus of about 200 families from the area due to inaction on the Makim Kala gang and their violence.
कैराना से हिंदू परिवार भाग गए थे डर के मारे, क्योंकि पुलिस अपना काम नहीं करती थी. आजम खान और अखिलेश यादव के दबाव में रहते थे.
Should displaced people who are returning to their place of displacement be criticized, or the government who is facilitating this through stability and security in the area be criticized? Well, if the return was done in a fascistic way, that is to say, doing injustice to deliver justice, then perhaps the criticism is on point and a different way should have been devised to help the displaced. But when the influx or the return of the people is a byproduct of removal of gangs and ending the tyranny of the minority, which was the original reason for exodus, shouldn't it be considered a natural reaction? Shouldn't this be considered a freedom of expression and celebrated that the areas previously inhabitable are hospitable once again? Next, he brought up that the survey shouldn't be hindered as it would bring out the truth.
खुदाई से इनको डर क्यों लगता है? खुदाई हो जानी चाहिए, सत्य सामने आना चाहिए.
I think, as the survey was legal, it would have either placated the misguided claims of the Hindu population or pave a path for access for the Hindu community. It does not mean that the masjid there is in any kind of danger, as if it was an ancient monument according to ASI or Ancient Survey of India, there can be no destruction and no construction on the land. Simply, the access of the place will be restored. And if it is not 100 years old and thus not protected by ASI, the Places of Worship Act protects the religious character of the place. Next, he brought up an example where a court decided that one of the restricted areas of Gyanvapi Masjid should be opened up to Hindu worshippers, and the rejoiced worshippers finally entered the premises on a sacred day for a puja. Mid puja, the Chief Minister Mulayam Singh Yadav issued a verbal order to stop the puja immediately and make the area restricted once again. His reasoning being communal tensions, which would have, according to him, led to violence. Is this not appeasement where still existing structures of a mosque, which is a temple used for puja, is restricted because of public becoming violent.
सिंह यादव जी मुख्यमंत्री थे 1993 में। वहां पे मां श्रृंगार गौरी, ये बनारस की बात है, वहां पूजा रुकवा दी थी बिना लिखित आदेश के।
The CM could have heightened security to give protection to the people going to the temple, but it would have probably led to more tension in the area. Another more easy fix would have been explaining this problem to the community of temple goers and promising another temple in the area where the deity could have been respectfully been moved from the dark and damaged area to a better glorious throne. Well, obviously, it sounds simple when we talk about it, but this requires respect for the CM from both sides of the communities, which can often be done by working towards both communities' problem and providing security. Unfortunately, proved by his action, Mulayam Singh Yadav was a one-trick pony in governance, usually using communal tensions to scare minorities in voting for him. While it is a good vote for Dalits and Muslims on the surface, as they have a person giving them special treatment and pulling strings for your comfort, rarely do such pathetic and lazy leaders do anything to progress the communities they pull votes from.
213 इंसान मरे, इसकी मौत पर आंसू बहाने की जगह पर 209 हिंदू मरे, ऐसा कहकर के देश को सांप्रदायिक किया जा रहा है, ऐसा मेरा आरोप है।
While the point is true that every person losing their lives in communal violence be treated equally, but if the complaint here is that the Muslims losing their lives are brought to justice from parties, and the opposite is done with Hindus dying, then the criticism of every life lost is a loss of humanity is a deflection to the main point. Instead, the right answer should have been that violence towards Hindus will have the same criticism, and the extreme elements from the Muslim side will be brought to justice. Such as when Babri Masjid was leveled in the Kar Seva movement 1992 with the help of RSS, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and the members of BJP. They were critiqued and arrested for inciting violence.
इस मंदिर की असलियत लगातार लोग, वो ग्रस्तोगी परिवार जिसके स्वामित्व में ये मंदिर है, वो लगातार जो बात कह रहा है उस पर कोई नहीं जा रहा।
There is a fake narrative circulating in the media right now where it is being reported that when police and authorities went to check on electricity theft, they found a locked temple which had been encroached upon and damaged by the surrounding Muslim communities in Sambhal city. It is a fact that all the Hindu families surrounding the temple have moved from the area, leaving only Muslim households in the area surrounding the temple. But the conclusion that the movement of the Hindu families was in fact displacement has been challenged by some interviews done with the keepers of the Hindu temple. They plainly stated there was no violence that forced them to move, but other circumstances which made the area lonely for them to live, as other Hindu families had left slowly.
ना डर वोर कुछ ना आपस में जो है सब चले गए थे तो अकेले रह गए थे इसलिए जाना है।
A Muslim resident brought up a great point where if the riot in 1978 was the main reason for displacement, then why did the people move out in 2006?
देखिए अगर पलायन किया जाता तो लास्ट बेनामा जैसे लास्ट फैमिली जो रस्तोगी फैमिली यहाँ से 2006 में गई, मोहन रस्तोगी जी वगैरह की, ये जो लास्ट बेनामा 2012 में हुई, ये बहुत पहले हो जाने चाहिए थे। फिर ये वो लोग हम हमारे बचपन में हमारे साथ क्यों रहे, वो लोग हमारे दोस्त वगैरह।
If there are lost temples in the city, why are they only being brought up today? Shouldn't it have been uncovered when the BJP was in power several times?
1978 से लेकर के आखिर आज तक का ऐसा कौन सा कारण था अंजना जी, जो अब तक इन लोगों ने इन सारी चीजों की जांच नहीं की?
If we look at the history of UP and its government, it has been incredibly unstable for a long time. When I scanned the wiki page, their CMs mostly lasted for 1 or 2 years, so anybody achieving something significant is not expected. But when the last few governments have lasted stably for 5 years to 7 years, there are things being done to them. Here, when we talk about Sambal Masjid, the government is in the right for doing the survey and determining the religious nature of the site. But The reports by media and promotion by BJP leaders about lost temples in the area seem unlikely and false.